Welcome to the Advanced Electronics and Automated Distributions OAC Classroom, tour. I just wanted to give you guys a little idea what's going on in our shop, in our classroom. Normally we'd have our meetings in person in the shop, but because of COVID, and actually now it's sort of working out just for convenience for everybody, we're doing it remotely. Let's proceed. We do a lot of cool things in our shop, and I think one of the coolest things that we do is solder. Doesn't matter the skill level of the student, they all seem to love to solder. So I give them some old boards that I have. They remove parts, they put resistors back on, they take off things. I also have a bunch of cool little things that I get off of a company called Spark Fun, and those things are little soldering kits, little lighthouse that's got some capacitors on it, a transistor and some resistors, and it just blinks with the LED at the top like a lighthouse would. But then I have some more sophisticated ones, sort of like that old school Simon game that we had when we were kids, where the different lights flash and you gotta give back the sequence of the flashing lights. So some of it's kind of, a little thought for, gives them a little thought and gives them a little idea what's going on, and some of them are just plain fun. But like I said, all the students, it doesn't matter what their skill level is in my shop, everybody likes to solder. This is one of my training stations. You can see right here it's set up for logic gates. I was teaching the students some logic gates on a couple different chips. I think we had 5 or 6 chips that I purchased from Amazon, because I don't know where I'd get them from through the school district. And the students were building some logic gate circuits. We had a decent time doing it. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. I think we smoked a lot of the chips. But it's all learning. If you don't let the smoke out of the circuit, then you probably aren't doing something right once in a while. This also doubles as a soldering station too. The other soldering station is just 4 stations all the time, and these right here kind of convert into what I need them to be. Most of the time they're some kind of testing station like this. I got a bunch of computers, you can see some in the back there, and I bolted them up underneath of the tables there, and this way the kids could watch a video while they were soldering on how to build something or review something, or have a sheet there, or while they were doing building a circuit, they could watch something on YouTube or something showing them how to do it. So it's kind of cool, this little system I have set up for them here. This is another training system or training area I have. This one is more of a permanent. It doesn't really ever convert into other things unless we need more space. You can see these little green and blue trainers. I actually purchased these with my own money off of eBay. I had to go up to Bucks County and meet a teacher who did almost what I do up there with electronics, and he had these trainers. They stopped making them, it looks like in the 90s or something, so the only way I could buy them was on eBay. So they're really good for the students. We made new cords for them, and the students can build circuits. It's kind of set up so they really can't break anything. I say that, but I'm sure they can figure out some way. They really can't break anything with them, but they're really handy just for learning basic electronics. This is something I'm really proud of right now. This is my 3D lab. It took me years to get the 3D printers, and now we have 3 of them. So if you guys know anything about a 3D printer, it can take up to 6-8 hours to print one thing. So it's really important that we have 3 of them, just because kids lose interest. If they have to print, they make something and they want to print it, and they have to wait a week to print it because there's just one of them and there's 5 kids in front of them wanting to print something, they're just going to lose interest in it. So we have 3 of them. They're all set up, and they're really great. I'm going to show you some of the things we printed in them. So we printed some fun stuff. But the main reason I got these was, you can see there's a gear there. on both of them. You can see some sharks and rockets, and but there's these two white gears that we printed. That's what it's really all about. I mean, the fun stuff's great, Spider-Man, Iron Man, you know, all that kind of stuff. But the gears are what I really wanted to focus on, because in any industry, especially the vending industry, they stop making parts, or they become hard to find, or it's just made a little off and it could have been better, but nobody ever made it better. That's the beauty of these 3D printers, is that the students now can get a part and fabricate a new part. So I'm currently working on lessons where they can actually design and print their own stuff. These were things we kind of found on the internet, somebody else made, but that's really what it's all about, is them being able to get something and design it and build it in a CAD program and then turn around and print it. Found equipment. I'm kind of a scrounger, and when I heard South Philly was getting rid of their CTE department, I went over there and I got this trainer and another 3D printer. You know, I had 3 that were all the same, but one of them was a little different. And it's really a cool trainer. I have the manuals for it, but I'm going to be picking and choosing and digitizing the lessons out of it so that the students can then just sit there with their Chromebook and do an experiment. Maybe it'll have a video with it of me doing it first, and then they can type in the results, and this way, you know, it's easy for me. There's no paper. It just pops up on my computer when they do the assignments. But I also got another one of these from a school called MassBomb. They had one in their electricians class that they never ever used. So I have to get with them and get over and pick that up. But yeah, I'm scrounger looking around for all kinds of cool stuff for the program. So this is one of my finds. Phone management. It's funny, when I was in New Orleans and I was telling people, or the students were telling people what they did, the employers were coming up to me and going, can you teach them just not to be on their phone all the time? So I had already implemented this, and I know that's one of the biggest problems. I've actually had 2 of my students that I got a job fired because they were just sitting there playing on their phones all day, thinking that that was okay. So I have these bags. These are like deposit bags that you would get if you had a little business and you were taking money to the bank. They have a zipper on the top, and it slides over, and there's a key that clamps down on it so it locks the bag. So I make them lock their phones in the bag, and then I have this board on the right-hand side that has hooks on it, and they put their name, they put their key on the hook above their name. There we go. And the keys are all numbered. The bags are all numbered. They were a little expensive. I think they were like $15 a piece. So I have a sizable investment in these bags, but the return on them is great. I don't have kids sitting there playing on their phone or wanting to know what time it is every 5 minutes, so they take their phone out when there's a big clock on the wall. So there's really no excuse. And I know that's kind of one of the downfalls, is just people are always on their phones. So this is one of my ways to combat that. Getting information out. These are things that I have in my shop. You can see on the bottom there, I have it's like a touch screen 60-inch television. And I can throw images on it from my computer on my desk, or it's also got internet capabilities where I can download anything to it, or plug a USB drive in it with a PDF on it and go through a manual or anything I want on it. They're really great. On the top here, you can see I have a flat screen television that I purchased, and I put it up there, and I basically have a PowerPoint playing, and the PowerPoint just tells the students that there's going to be a test up and coming, information. When it gets near the prom, it'll have prom stuff on it, or graduation, or half days, or holidays, or anything that I want the students to know about will be, you know, on a loop of slides on that top TV. I also have this do now that's due every day. We have a problem in our school, and I'm pretty sure it's every problem, is the kids have a really hard time coming to class. They'll roll in 15, 20, half an hour late for class. So to keep that from happening, I developed a do now program, and you can see there it's a logic circuit. That was the do now for the seniors that day. and they had to figure out what the output was with those inputs on those lines that are A, B, C, and D. So what they do is there's a sheet, and over there on the right screen you can see there's a sheet there, yellow sheet. It has it says the due now on it, and it's got some times on it when it expires. So when they come in, if they come in on time, they run in and they get their due now, and they run it through the time clock. You can see on the left, it time stamps it with the day and the time that they came in, and hopefully the time is before the time that the due now expires. If it expires, it's 0 for a grade, and if it's in that time zone, they get 100. So it's kind of like a way of, if they were late for work, they would get fired. There's repercussions for being late, and this is my way of setting that up. These are active vending machines. Unfortunately, they're not filled right now because of COVID, but the two on the left are in the hallway, and the two on the right are actually in my classroom. The two on the left are the ones out in the hallway that the students would fill up before COVID, and we'd run them, and if there was a complaint, one of the students would go out and help them. The students did everything. I would go to BJ's Wholesale Club and fill up my Suburban full of soda and snacks, and I would pull up and the kids carry it all in. We have a big shopping cart in our classroom. They fill up the shopping cart, they walk down to the machine, they fill up the machine, they take the money out, they see what's selling, they see what's not selling, they tell me not to buy anything anymore like that, or buy more of it because it sells out quick. They're constantly walking past it in the hallway so they can monitor stuff. And then they would bring the money back to the classroom. They count it. They make a deposit slip, and then they take it to the principal or the secretary, who then deposits the money into our account. They keep a journal of how much we spend on product and how much we make on everything, and then they subtract it all out. So it's a really cool opportunity for them. I call it RanVend for Randolph Vending. I'd like to get shirts made up. I think that would be kind of cool. So in September next year, we'll have these machines all filled up and roaring and running, and the students will get back into that. Like I said, it's their own little vending company. The students take pride in it. It really brings out the best in the students, and it teaches them a really good responsibility. This is my vending lab. On the left-hand side here, it's kind of hard to see because it didn't do the whole picture, but I actually got these doors from old vending machines, and we took the doors off of them, and I put them on wheels so that when the students wanted to practice installing bill validators and changers, they didn't have a whole machine, and if they broke something on it, they didn't ruin a machine. So I basically have this door here. I have 3 of them. And if you look there, you can see that there's an MDB cable hanging down. It's an old one off of, it looks like a cantaloupe. It's actually just screwed into the side of the machine, and then when they put the changer in and the bill validator, then they can wire up everything. And on the right hand side, you can see there is Canteen dropped off a whole bunch of vending machines and a whole bunch of revision doors. They were snack machines, and and my students took the old doors off, put the new doors on, and wired everything all up, and they actually really enjoyed it. And of course, when we were all done, we had all these little the little flip outs for the snack machines. So I just basically pop riveted them onto the side of the door, and now students, with one trainer, the students could practice putting a bill validator and a changer in a soda machine, and then one in a snack machine without having to have 6 machines. All I have is 3 doors on wheels, so it works out pretty good. And then on the other side here, in our vending lab, which I'm going to be redoing probably in the beginning of June, you just have vending machines in there, and the students go in there and practice programming them and setting them up, and there's some snack machines in there, so they change all the prices, and I have wooden blocks, and they put the wooden blocks in it, and they vend wooden blocks and stuff like that, so it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool that I just got an email from downtown, the main office of the school district, telling me that everything has been ordered. So I know last meeting we talked about these, and I told everybody I wanted to order them, and I put the order in right after the meeting, and it just took this long because it was a gear grant and the money was coming from somewhere. So basically we have to send the quote in, they look at the quote, they look at every paperwork that we send with it, and then they approve it. It just takes forever. So we got this as a programmable logic controller. I think that'll help them with their logic circuits and stuff. It also, is a really good opportunity for them to learn some new, incredible, cool stuff. So we should be getting these, I'm hoping, within the month, before the end of the year. And this way I can start to implement them at the beginning of September. And then this one right here, I'm actually really psyched about this one. This is an electromechanical training system. And basically with a laptop, the students program this motor to do things. And I think this fits in with the vending industry perfectly, because basically every vending machine that gives a product is some kind of control board controlling some kind of motor that distributes something. So be it a snack machine in an auger, a soda machine in some kind of drum, or something to flip the sodas down, or whatever. But it all kind of ties together. And I think this is really, really interesting, and I really can't wait to get this in and start implementing it in some of my lessons. So another thing is, every year we get a gear grant, and in September we get notified about how much we can get, or how much money is available. And if one program doesn't really use all theirs, sometimes they can slide the money around, because it's one of those things, they have to use the money. So I would really like to get this next year. I have a video that I've included with this video, and it's an AC training system. It has a book with it, and I think I can adapt that book to an online lesson. And the students basically build circuits. You can see there's some solenoids on there, there's some switches, some lights, there's a processor there, some resistors, and it's just really good. Looks like there's some transformers. Looks like they're not a step-down one looks like a step-down transformer, but it looks really, really great. And it's portable too, which is kind of handy, because we usually go out and try to recruit students, and I think this would be something really great to bring with me, and the students can, I can have a student there demonstrating it to the other students and let them wire up some stuff. So it's kind of like the new version of those trainers that I showed you back on one of the first couple slides that I bought from eBay. So it's really, I'm really psyched about this, and I hope you guys think it's a good idea like I do, and you guys approve it, which I'm hoping you will. So please watch that video that I enclosed with it. All right, as always, I couldn't have this program without you. Everybody's support has been amazing through these past, working on 10 years that I've been teaching this course. It's insane. It's like I'm an old timer at the school now. And I know you had Mr. Clark for a good 15 or 18 years before that. So I know you guys have been, loyal to the program, and without your support, we couldn't have this program. And I see the other shops and their OAC members and what they contribute, and it's really not a fraction of what you guys do for the program. So I'm really thankful, thank you for being part of this. And every year that I've had it, I've tried to make it better than before, and I think now it's starting to come around where it's going to be one of the best programs in the Philadelphia School District. All right, so please do not forget, we have a meeting on 5/26/2022 at 11:30. I'm putting the Zoom link in with these videos, so please show up, just say hi, come in for a little bit. We're going to be talking about some of the stuff we're doing, give you an overview of what's going on. And that's about it. So again, thank you very much for all your support, and I hope to, and I plan on seeing you on 5/26.